Oh, I'm live. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Mountain Bike Q&A. I'm your host, Johnny U. Sorry if I'm a few seconds late. We were just talking in the background, and I just can't wait to get this thing going. But before we do, I have to do that whole thank you for your support thing, because really without you guys tuning in, watching, and stuff like that, I don't know if I'd keep doing this. Yeah, I would, because I like meeting all new people. But anywho, again, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, check it out. I'm really doing really well in the Spotify's. I say that all the time, but it's this is a lot of fun. And if you could, if you're new to the channel, if you're one of Tony's fans in the comment section and haven't been on this podcast yet, and you're checking it out, hit a like button. You don't have to hit subscribe; just hit the like button. Subscribing would be nice. So I'm going to stop talking. Let's bring on the man of the hour, Tony, the outsider. What's going on, man?
Thanks for having me. How's it going? It's always funny, like starting a conversation over again. Like we were just chatting in the background before the thing started. Now it's like you got start everything over again. Let's go.
It's like, oh, nice to meet you. No, we'll get all that out of the way, dude. We've already talked about it. You're bringing them in. You're bringing them in. Look at this. There's your boy,
Adam.
Come on with this guy.
Of course, Adam is here. Adam is a huge supporter of mine and mine of his. So I demanded he be here tonight.
Oh, you demanded him.
I didn't. Well, I didn't have to, but he's here.
Hey, Joey Yates up in here. Trail Monster says hi.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Look at this. We got Tumor Warrior. Zach. Yeah. Mark Hill. Mark. He's got the popcorn popped.
He does. I think he's got a personal popcorn machine, so he's not kidding.
I really think he has a machine for everything. I don't know if you've seen.
I think he does. I've been to his house. I think I remember him having that. He's got his personal man den with video games. He's got Street Fighter. He's got one of those machines with like 140 games on it. Like the ones where you like pick which one, like built in. Yeah, he's got a nice spread.
Yeah, no, I see his stuff, and I'm just like, I saw you and Adam playing Street Fighter. I think he posted some video. You got Mia's in the house, Women's Mountain Bike Network. Yeah. This is incredible. Trail Pimp, Medi, thank you for tuning in again. Holy cow, Octodad, all the way from New Zealand coming to check you out.
Wow. From the future.
Yeah, don't tell us what happens, dude.
Yeah. My wife is currently flying back from Australia, and it's weird. She's like in tomorrow flying back to today. It's 16 hours difference. You know what I mean? So she's flying back from Thursday into Wednesday.
Well, that's got to be some serious jet lag.
Yeah.
She's going to be like, I already know what happened. I'm just going to go to bed.
Yeah. She was only there for like 3 days. So it's crazy. Like, I don't know.
Oh, my God. Well, thank you for coming on, man. I really appreciate this opportunity. Now we've met. We've done some podcasts, I think, on Mark's a couple times, and then I finally got to meet you in person at Sky Park at Adam Mock's Ride and Shine. You didn't even ride. What brought you out there? Just to support?
Man, this was quite a while ago. I think I was either injured or I just had like a couple hours to spare or something like that. Like I don't remember what it was, but I remember not being able to ride that day, and I just kind of came up to hang out. And I caught you guys kind of at the end of your runs. And I'll be honest with you, one of my favorite things to do, I love hanging out at Sky Park just as much as I do riding. Like I'd go up there and just meet up with the crew and have a beer. If it wasn't so far away, more often. There's like that perfect area down at the bottom. There's the pub, and you can bring the beers outside. You can watch people ride the session jump. You get people that come in that you don't even know were there, that are coming off the trails that you may have met a couple times. It's just a good place to meet people and to hang out with your buddies at those picnic tables.
See, that's what I think is great, is that there's so much at Sky Park. I mean, my wife doesn't ride. She was throwing axes.
Yeah, there
And
you
then we
go.
came to
A
have
lot of
lunch. And
people do that thing where they bring their kids and the family does that, the axe throwing and hangs out and sees Santa, and then the dad goes and rides his bike and then they meet up afterward. I don't know. I don't have the kids, so I don't have that option, but I know that a lot of people do that. I'll see a lot of people on the trails and their dad's like, "Yeah, my kids are downstairs. I'll be down there with and I'll see you and meet for a beer with the kids in a little bit."
so that was fun about the sky park. For me is I got to hang out with you and Adam and stuff, but it was overload for me. I mean,
Yeah.
for you, it's probably like, oh, hey, there's blah blah blah. Here, they're your boys. For me, it was
Yeah.
like, oh, there was. I think when I first saw you walking down, I was saying hi to MTB Allen,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden I saw Pierre from Send It Death Before It. It was so overwhelming. Like I don't know
That's
if
cool. You know who everybody is. I mean, just from you being so far away, like the whole community out here and everything. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's kind of funny how this is turned into like a really good connection with the
Yeah,
community
for
out there.
sure.
I wish I had $1 for every video or YouTube video I watch just to keep up with all of you guys. Retiring Tahiti right now.
There's a lot of it.
Oh, we got the spokesman Steve in the house now. No, you didn't miss anything. We were saying hi to each other again.
How you doing?
So, okay. I always mentioned this before, and I didn't tell you. Train derails. I'll get back. Before you got into this mountain bike, so where do you live? You live in SoCal, right?
Yeah, I'm in Orange County in Fullerton. I'm like 30 minutes from Laguna Trails and about an hour and 20 minutes from Sky Park. I'm kind of right in the middle of the vortex. I'm not like especially close to anything, but I'm not far away from all of it, which is kind of a cool little spot.
So are you like a lot of these guys where you just wake up and you can go out your back door or up the street and ride?
I have a ride out my front door, which is called the Fullerton Loop. It's not very fun. It's very beginner. I don't know. A lot of people love it. It's more of a pedal, more of a grind.
Mhm.
It's like 11 miles. I used to do it a lot, but I got a little bored of it. But yeah, I have the luxury of doing that. Yeah, we have trails or San Diego Oaks, which you might have heard of, is only like 20 minutes away from me. So they're pretty close. So you can make a couple hours out of a ride for sure.
Man, and you got the e-bikes now. Everyone's got, because I watch you guys do the uphill, the mountain stuff. I did that in Connecticut. I was telling you I was in Connecticut, and it was mostly uphill. And I'm a Florida
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
People
So
are like, oh, e-bikes, and I'm like, I if I lived anywhere else, I would have an e-bike.
yeah, it's interesting. So I grew up in Connecticut and started riding a little bit there, and it was very cross country. It was kind of flat. And when I came out here, it was a whole different type of riding. I had to relearn how to ride because everything is like you pedal up 40 minutes and you go down, or you pedal up 20 minutes and you go down. So honestly, like having an e-bike here in Southern California, people talk down on it, but it's like having your own chairlift. Like the downhills are so fun, and you get like 4 more runs in every time you get an e-bike. It weighs a little bit more, and there's people that are still not turned on to it. I have 3 bikes. I got the trail, the enduro, and the decoy, the e-bike, and I'm pulling the e-bike more because I just love the downhill so much. But like, I'm kind of trying to switch it back and forth where I get that on the pedal bike and just keep my cardio going. So it's like 1 to 3 rides or something like that. But it's hard not to pull out the decoy every time.
I really don't understand how anyone would poo-poo, if you will, an e-bike.
They
Because
do.
I borrowed I borrowed my brother's. He has a Cannondale Montera. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I put it on boost, and it just goes. I borrowed
Yeah.
it for just a little bit of it. And he was like, "Can I have my bike back?" And now I'm pedaling, walking, if you will, up the mountain. So you grew up in Connecticut. How long did you live there?
Yeah. I lived there my whole life. I grew up there, went to high school there.
Oh,
I had a
wow.
weird little career where I was a pro skater for a little while. So I moved to California after high school. Actually, this is my second time living in California. I lived in Huntington Beach in this like skate house I did that. Did some touring with the skate companies, and then my skate career ended when I got hurt. I tore all the ligaments in my foot and missed the video part. In skateboarding, video parts are everything. Like if you miss a video part, the next guy's going to come in and grab your slot. So
Yeah.
I got, I was partying too much. I was on the couch too much. I was hurt, and I went back to Connecticut to kind of try to figure out my life, and eventually found college journalism, got a journalism degree, moved back out to California, and came back and worked in the skate industry on the other side. So it's like I walked out the front door and what came in the back, because I
Yeah.
started working in the skate industry on the business side and not just on the front side. So
Oh, wow.
I did that for a bunch of years. I did that up until COVID, got laid off, as many people did in COVID. And that's
Oh,
when the
wow.
channel was kind of like taken off a little bit. So I was like, I'm just going to try to make this work. Like the life of a YouTuber is not glamorous, but the lifestyle is really awesome. So I
Yeah.
traded the bank account in for being able to travel and have that little sense of freedom for a couple of years. And so far I still got it going, but I don't know how long it's going to last. So we're here right now, and I just appreciate the moment.
Yeah. Enjoy the moment. That's what I'm learning right now. Be present and
Yeah.
gratitude for what you have. Going back to the skating stuff. Now, were you more like a street skater or vert?
I was
Or-
when I was really young, I was a vert skater. Then I transitioned into ramp and street. So if you watch my video parts from back in the day, like my stuff is mainly street. So I grew up skating the streets of New Haven, Connecticut, skating New York City. I grew up with those kids from the movie Kids. Actually, I used to go and skate with those guys in New York a lot. The guys that own Supreme now, so a lot of them were back in the day. We were just a bunch of grommets skating around, meeting up after getting off the train. I take, Mad Men style. We take the train from Connecticut, get off at Grand Central, and then go to the
oh,
Brooklyn
wow.
Banks, and we'd all meet up there. And that was the big meeting spot. And we'd skate there. And I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but yeah, I have like sometimes I feel like I have a double life, because I have this life that I grew up as a skateboarder. Everything, no matter what, only thing that mattered to me was skateboarding. I watched skate videos. I eat, drank, and slept skateboarding. But like, it's kind of like that thing though. That's what makes you good at something. And you obsess over something, it
Yeah.
grabs a hold of you. And that launched my like skate career. And I got to the point where I found mountain biking at a point where I got older and I just couldn't jump downstairs anymore and didn't really want to. I'm like 35, 40 years old. Like, I'm a grown ass man now. I can't jump down these stairs and keep up with these kids anymore. So I found mountain biking, and I got the same adrenaline rush as I felt like I got riding down stairs, flying down the trails. And I got the same feeling kind of from skating. And, it
Yeah.
kind of grabbed a hold of me, and I've been doing it since.
Yeah. That's what Spokesman was saying. How do you transition from, like, you've always been on, you said you rode mountain bike up in Connecticut. So did you do the same at the same time, or just went
Yeah.
full force with one and then had one in the background?
So it's weird how it evolved. Like it went from me skating and then mountain biking, skating, mountain biking, and then they kind of leveled out, and then mountain biking took over. When I moved out here is when it really happened. When I found the trails out here, and I found my new passion. Like I was working at Etnies America in Lake Forest, California, and I would go skate on my lunch break and then ride the trails there, the luge and Whiting Ranch after work. So it was like kind of the best of both worlds. But
Yeah.
I started finding myself going riding more and riding more. And there's people at work that started mountain biking with me, and it just took off. So my brain started to watch mountain bike videos instead of skate videos. And it's weird. I've always kind of been obsessive. I'm like saying this out loud and like realizing that
It's
like
coming to you. A little therapy for you right
like
now.
I
You're like,
need
oh my
something
God.
to obsess over, whether it's video games or skating or mountain biking, like something to tune into and then put all the bull crap outside of it. Like that's always helped me for some reason, focusing on something like that.
You mentioned just a few seconds ago or a few minutes ago, a skate house.
Mm-hmm.
What? Talk to me. What a skate house is. What kind of
Oh man.
lifestyle is that?
So if anyone in here is knows skating, I lived in one of the most famous skate houses that was ever out. It was called the Warner Ave Crew, and we lived in Huntington Beach with Andrew Reynolds and Alyssa Steamer. If you guys played Tony Hawk Pro Skater, these are the people that were in those games, and I was there when that game was being made. So they would hand us copies of Tony Hawk Pro Skater as the levels were being built, so we could play and tell them feedback like, hey, this is not realistic, this is not. So I was one of the guys that I was lucky enough to play that game before it came out. Basically all you do is your job is to skate, your job is to produce, your job is to film things, take photos. But the problem with that is that there's no real stability to it unless you are very good with being like, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Got it.
Strict on yourself, because you can turn the day into a party day every day if you want to. You have to really figure out and put yourself on the clock, and that's when skating became a real feeling. Like it changed from being just fun for me to a job. Some people excelled at that and some people didn't. And I was more of the guy that like loved skating for the fun of it. Turn the camera on, let's see what happens. But in pro skating, when I was skating out with a lot of these guys, they were on a level where they would go at 6 a.m. with a photographer and a filmer to a 15-stair handrail, and they'd be ready to put it down as the lights coming up for the photographer. And I just wasn't built like that. I saw a level of skating that I wasn't comfortable with, like I was in awe of these are the best skateboarders in the world too. I'm putting myself up against. So, it's hard to describe, but like I found my niche in it, but it just wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. I thought I would, in Connecticut, I was like big fish in small pond, California, small fish in big pond. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but you know what I mean? Yeah. And so California is the epicenter of skateboarding. So coming out here really gave me like a gut check. I managed to make it work for a couple of years, but it was rough. It was tough, but I had so much fun.
You're with these incredible skaters. Did you feel like that was ramping you up to be better? I mean, if you ride with the best, you learn more. If you're skating with the best, you were getting it. Were you sponsored? Who
I was sponsored by I was on Vans, Foundation Skateboards, Independent Trucks, a clothing company called Split back then, a skate shop locally called Furnace. So there was a bunch of sponsors I had. I didn't make that much money, but I had all the product in the world that what needed, and went on tours around the world. We'd fly to Puerto Rico and go sailing one day, and then go skate at the demos the next couple of days. I got for my first bout of sun poisoning. I forgot was in Puerto Rico. I went out in the middle of the whole day. We went sailing and didn't put any sunblock on, and my feet swelled up like big bowling balls. And the locals took pity on me and started wiping. So this is a good trick. If you ever get sun poisoning or sunburn, slice up potatoes raw and put them on your skin. Apparently that like moisturizes them better than any moisturizer can do. It's better than aloe. So it really, really works. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, it was awesome. I lived, I guess I'm kind of doing it now. If you think about it, it's kind of crazy. Like I lived this lifestyle then I went back to work, and now I'm living this lifestyle now where I'm making YouTube videos and I'm traveling around the country making YouTube videos. Yeah. But it's on my own. It's just kind of, I have a weird life. I'm realizing.
And it's a great life. I mean, you get to live your life. I'm really fascinated with the skating stuff because as a kid, I was a really bad skater. I had a skateboard. I skated all the time, and I was horrible at it. I was the kid in the background that tried everything but failed. I couldn't do it. I remember half pipe. I'd get up and just smack my face, like fall all the way down. I could not drop in right, and I just realized you have to take it whatever. But I
dropping in is like one of those. Dropping in is like one of those like levels. Once you learn to drop in, it opens up everything for you. So the dropping in is the big thing, right? Like once you can drop into the ramp with the big kids up top. I remember that when I was a kid. I was like, oh man, I can, instead of starting at the bottom, you could go up to the top of the ramp and drop in. It was a big deal.
I couldn't do it. We'll get to mountain bike. I'm just fascinated with the skating lifestyle because you were young and you probably had all this stuff. You had sponsors. You're living in this skate house. You're having a blast. You're traveling. I mean, how old were you when this was happening? I mean, was it too
My
much
20s.
too soon?
This was like late teens into my 20s, and then I moved back to Connecticut when I was like 23, and went back to college probably when I was like 25. I was a late bloomer. I always said that like after skateboarding ended, I needed to do something with myself. So I always knew I wanted to go back to school. It's just easier said than done though, because I was so used to this party lifestyle. I got back to Connecticut and just found my old skate crew, and we just started partying again. And then finally, I was like, this is going on long enough. Like I started seeing the rest of my life before my eyes. If you don't do something, if you don't make a decision, you're going to be doing this. And then you're going to wake up 20 years from now, whatever, with a shit job you hate, and you hate your life. So sorry, I don't know if you swear on the show. Sorry,
swear all the way. We're a bunch of adults here.
All right. But yeah, like it took a little while, but I ended up figuring it out, and I'm still figuring it out. I guess
we all are. I was telling you, I was in therapy before this. Got a lot going on. Stuff is. Marty wants to know: did you ever skate with Tony Hawk? About.
Yeah. His son Riley, I went on tour with a couple times, and Tony Hawk's a super nice guy. Yeah, I wouldn't say I've been on tour with Tony Hawk or skated like been to his house or anything, but definitely been in his presence a few times, and he's like as nice as he comes across. He's one of those guys that like people can make fun of because he's in bagel commercials, but like that guy is down for skating, and he's always got skating's back,
And I saw Steve Caballero. I was in, like we said earlier, I was in awe of everybody. I was just like this with you and Adam, and I was starstruck almost. And then I saw Steve driving into the parking lot, and as a young person that loved skating, was bad at it, I said,
yeah.
So
I still do that when I see him.
A lot of people were yelling, "Cab!" and I'm like, I think he knows he gets that.
Yeah. He's the star treatment.
Yeah, he seems like a really nice guy. He's just so casual.
Yeah, for sure.
So skating, you skated, you got out of it, you went to college, boom, boom, boom. You telling me you got into mountain biking, but then you decided let's go full steam. This happened during COVID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got laid off so I worked in the skate industry, and during COVID, I think my company and a lot of companies freaked out before they knew what was happening. Like there was just like this scare of losing money, and a lot of them just started laying people off before it happened. And that's what happened to me. So I worked at that point, I was working like as a contractor, 1090 freelance. So I was doing all the social media for Etnies. And when you're working that way, the first people they let go are the people on contract, because they're not really part of like the actual program, like insurance and all that stuff's not tied in. So it's easiest for them to let go of you. So I got laid off, and I was like, I can look for a job right now, or I can just see where this goes. I had like 10,000 subscribers or something like that. It wasn't enough to live off of, but I wanted to see if I could. And for those of you that don't know, like YouTube, I'll just let it out of the bag. Like YouTube doesn't pay what you think it does. The views on YouTube pay crap. Like they really do. So in order to make that work, I had to find a Patreon audience. I had to find some sponsors and things like that to help pay, because even though I don't have kids and my bills are low, I still have to live, and I was able to do it only because I don't have kids, and I paid off my truck, and I don't have a lot of bills. So like, I think if you saw what I made, I think a normal person would not be able to live off what I'm doing, but I'm able to do it because I'm able to get my bills so low. And I don't know if you guys care about that stuff, but that's just kind of how YouTube goes sometimes.
I find it interesting.
The reality of it, but the trade-off is I have the freedom to live my life and right now and take a little break from the 9 to 5 and make videos I love and entertain and inform and travel the country and see places that my bike is going to bring me that I never would see before. I always say that on the bike, like, I love where the bike brings me. The bike is bringing me to a place in the middle of a mountain, seeing this deer that I didn't even know existed for the first and only time. Like it brought me here, and I would not, there's no way I'd be in this point in my life or see these things if I didn't find mountain biking. So I'm so appreciative for the activity in itself, aside from how gnarly and how big the jumps are and how many rock gardens you do. Like,
Yeah.
for me, it started because of where the bike brought me, and that's kind of what I fell in love with.
I think that's interesting that you said people may find that like, the bills and the money in YouTube. I think a lot of people here are YouTubers and stuff, and you find out that doesn't pay, and you kind of need a backup. I've interviewed somebody just recently who does it full time, but he's like, I'm thinking I'm going to need a part-time job because it doesn't bring in what everyone thinks it does. You're not a Mr. Beast or, one
Yeah,
of those. But
it's a
so,
grind.
and the background of you working in an industry before skating and having those sponsorships, was it easier for you to know how to go after those sponsorships?
So yeah, kind of, just because the field I'm in and I was in was journalism in college and then marketing. So marketing, I was able to, like, for example, talk to YT in a way that I was not just this YouTuber, but I was also coming from a person that has a professional background in marketing. And I wanted to be able to explain to them what value that I could bring to the company.
Yeah.
So I think that was helpful, and being able to speak in that thought process was helpful. And I don't know if it secured me with the contract with them, but it definitely helped. It's because I knew the things that they would want to hear that were important, not only for them being YT, which is a really rad brand. I almost think that they're like a skate brand, and I'm happy to
Yeah.
be a part of them. Jeff Taylor, who's the president there, was a professional skateboarder. Jimmy Asselford, who is their marketing manager now, is sponsored by DC and all these companies. And I have this similar background. So when I talk to them, there's this already like connection, which is
Yeah.
really cool. And I really value that, and that's kind of like how it goes. Like I want to say, like, it helped having the background, but it wasn't everything. But I definitely value it, having that experience.
I think it's, oh, hold on, my wife. Let's get my wife in here real quick. She's a big fan of yours because, yeah, you love your dog as much as we love ours. Is your wife a mountain biker? And how does that flow? Sounds like an amazing life.
So she's not, which
So she's
I,
not.
it's
Oh,
not, it's not for lack of trying. Like, I got her on the bike before, but I think she realized pretty quickly that it was more for me. And what ended up happening is, over time, well, the channel first started, I started making videos for my wife and the dog Pip. I would just go out on this old camera I had and talk to them and bark at Pip and see if he would pay attention when we
I
watched the
love
videos back.
it.
And then after about 5 months of this, she got sick of it. She's like, Tony, I love what you're doing, but you should do this for like other people. Like,
Not
you've got to
me.
practice now. So she's kind of like the one that pushed me to like start posting it online. And as far as traveling goes, she travels a lot. I travel a lot. We value our privacy and our free time a lot. I
Mhm.
work from home and she works from home a lot. So if it's not like we don't see each other, but when I go away or she goes away, we're really cool with it. Like, she's never mad at me for going on a trip or anything. The only thing that's tough is with having Pip and having him like being watched after, because he's like our kid.
Yeah. Oh, and we'll bring that up. You were in where, New Mexico?
Yeah, I was in New Mexico, and that little guy got dropped off at a new doggy daycare,
Oh,
and we used the Rover app. I don't know if you guys ever used it before, if you have dogs, but this didn't go well. He was there for 4 hours, and I think that what happened was, this is my theory, she has two young kids I didn't meet, and I think they were probably chasing him around the house, and the door got open, and he ran out the door and ran out.
son
And
of
here's the thing. I can open up my front door and Pip can walk out the front door and he'll go pee in the yard, and he's not running away. He knows like he's in a happy place. He's going to stick around. Why would he run? So anyway, long story short,
yeah.
I'm in Angel Fire Bike Park. I just finished riding for the day. I get a text from the dog owner saying that Pip's gone. That's all she wrote. Pip's gone. He's in the streets. And I'm like, what the hell kind of thing is that to say to somebody? No, like,
It's
precursor,
on.
no, like, warm up, no, like, oh, I've got this thing. I'm going to call you. What's your phone number? Like, that's something you call somebody for. So
Yeah.
I'm just like texting her, and I text my wife. My wife leaves her job, goes over there looking for him in the Placentia area. The thing that sucked is that he was in another town, so he doesn't know our town. It wasn't like he
Yeah.
was being watched at our house. So he didn't know where to go, and he's just lost. So we got these little sightings of him here and there. But the one great positive thing that came from this was that I'm in Angel Fire, New Mexico, and I'm 16 hours from home. And I went on Instagram and I asked everybody, if you're in the area, please go and give a look and look for Pip if you're in the area. Because I know a lot of people live around here, and they did. And my wife was driving around. She said she saw people from the community looking for Pip. There was somebody that put up flyers.
Oh, wow.
It was like, as sad as I was, it was an amazing thing to see. And I knew that people had my back and had our back and cared enough to do that. And it kind of like, teared me up for a little bit there on the way home, that not only was, sad he was gone, but like there's that many people that really care. And it kind of like brought everything together for me. When we finally got him back, he was trapped in the backyard. That's what saved him.
Oh,
He's gone for 2 days. Somebody found him trapped in the backyard. They saw a flyer. They called my wife when we were getting ready for bed, and we rushed over there. And he was just like thirsty and hungry, and sitting in the backyard. His paws were all like raw because he was trying to dig out. He didn't know what to do. But we got him back. I couldn't believe it. It was at that point, like, when the reality sets in and you start to think about like maybe he's gone, like that's kind of where we were. We were like settling into the idea, and then we got that call, and we were like, couldn't believe it. We were running around the house like, oh my God.
I remember seeing your post, and I live in Florida, but I still felt like I had to do something. I posted, and I'm like, well, maybe there's, get it all out there. It doesn't matter who's putting it out there. Maybe someone on my Instagram is in whatever. And I came home and told my wife, and that our hearts sank because we have 2 guys.
Yeah.
And I don't think I couldn't. She went to pick up the dogs the other day when we have a doggy daycare at this lady's house that we take them to. And the leash wasn't on all the way. And we have a little 11-pound miniature dachshund. And she said he came off the leash and started running towards the street.
Oh, no.
And it makes me sick. So when I showed Lauren, MTB TNA, your video, she was just like, oh my God, no.
Yeah.
But he's back. What kind of dog is Pip?
He's part Chihuahua, part mini pin, and he's like a mutt, but he's got these big ass ears. So I'm gonna go. Let me go grab him real quick.
Grab him. He's great. He's so. I'm sorry. I just love dogs, and I love seeing dogs. Fractured Rider. Thank you, Finland. 4:00 for something over there. I hope you're eating lunch. So happy that Pip is okay. I was keeping my fingers crossed over here in Finland for the best. See, that's what's great about this whole thing is ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Pip. Look at those ears for days. Look, does he get HBO with those things? Look at that.
He does. We just put him on the TV and he gets the channels for us. Look at him. Look at him.
So I have a part Chihuahua, part Beagle.
Oh, you do?
And yeah, we call him the Derp because he keeps us cracking up. Here, my wife is so excited. Oh, look he's sleepy. Look at him. What did you wake him up? He was
just sleeping. I woke him up.
Oh, Pippers, man. Trail Pip. Everybody look at this. Finland loves Pip. Oh, Pip is a celebrity. Now, we saw Pip, so I'd like to thank you for your time, Tony. And we got Pip on. That's great. Glad he's okay. Everybody's happy that Pip's there. It was just one of those stories that it wasn't. This isn't about mountain bike. It was about your mountain bike community that you have created. Doing what you do. That plus the look on your face. I could feel that post when you posted it. I could feel it.
Yeah, I was freaking out. I think so. The first night I was just trying to keep it together for my wife because she was calling me crying. I could hear her like screaming his name into the night, crying, like, and I was just like melting. And I was like, all right. And then the second day is when I like reality hit me, and I was like, man, I don't know. He might be gone. But it was just like helpless because I'm so far away. All I could
Yeah.
do was just drive home. You know, I was at my first stop. I was ready to do a whole Colorado tour. I'd been planning out for 6 months. I was supposed to go to 4 different bike parks, and all of it just was like nothing matters anymore.
Yeah.
Gotta get
It's
home.
family before anything. It's like you get home.
Mhm.
How long did it take you to get back from New
So
Mexico
I
to
drove I think 10
did you
hours
sleep?
to Flagstaff, slept for a few hours, and then drove from Flagstaff home. It was 16, 17 hours. So I managed to get there the next morning.
Oh, yeah. Marks loves your sticker on your bike, your little pip sticker. You keep the pip sticker on your bike. So back to mountain biking. How did the outsider come to be? How did you become the outsider?
I just started posting videos to YouTube doing trail guides because I moved here from Connecticut and I didn't know where to ride. And I always felt like the kind of like an outsider from skating. I was always kind
Mhm.
of like on the outskirts, you know. So I was like, outsider kind of has it's kind of how I feel, and it's got that other double-sided coin thing where it's like outside, you know, like so
Yeah.
maybe it'll work. And then I just started posting videos, doing trail guides, and people seemed to really find value in it, and they loved that I just kind of like was myself, I guess. I didn't
Mhm.
when I do these videos, I don't try to like put on a show or anything like that, I guess. So maybe that comes across. I don't know. I don't really know, but like I don't really know why people watch the videos, to be honest with you. But I like that they're watching them, and I just try to be as close to myself as I can. But I
Yeah.
think that what started it was just being a travel guide, like basically like here are some trails that you didn't know about that were in your own backyard, and here's how to ride
Yeah.
them. Here's where to park. Here's where to take a left, and it just evolved from there.
Yeah.
Those are the videos, like the Fullerton Loop, the one that's outside of my house has like 100,000 views, and that's like um the essence of what the channel started on was like the Fullerton Trail Guide, and it's still going. It's really bad now. Like I can't even watch it anymore. But um,
I gotta pop this up. Adam's messing with you. They watch you because you show a ton of skin.
yeah, Adam wishes.
Now, when you first started, was your mission statement like, okay, I've got to do something different than just a POV because there's tons of that. Um, I want to do something that I can bring differently because you're honestly 5 years ago, you're almost like a pioneer in mountain biking videos, if
I
you
never
will,
thought of it like that.
if I can say that.
For me, BKXC is the reason I started my channel because I saw what he could do and I liked what he did. I don't know if you've watched his videos, but
Oh
he's
yeah.
been like he's like the first one to really do what we all do. He found the gimbal before
Mhm.
GoPro could be stable, and he
Yeah.
put the camera on. He was talking through his rides. So I was like, what if I do that? But I informed because I really liked every once in a while he did a trail guide, and I would watch it over and over again. And I really liked the organization of that video. I like take a left, take a right. I felt like I was along for the ride, and if I ever went there, I would know what to do. So I just started making them and throwing them out there, and people started grabbing onto them. It took a while. It took like 6 months to a year, and then I slowly started to pick up people, and I think what really helped out was when Sky Park picked up my trail guide of Sky Park, my first one,
Uh-huh.
and they put it on their website. So that opened up my channel to a lot of people. So I was thankful to Sky Park for doing that, and it worked both ways. People could see a trail guide and see the trails before they rode them at Sky Park. So that was pretty cool. But like, yeah, I didn't know people were going to even watch the videos. Here's my advice: anyone that wants to start a channel is just start making them. You'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to like go into this and make the best video you ever made first try. You're going to suck.
Yeah.
You probably are. You're just
You
gonna,
gotta,
I mean, you might not suck. That sounds shitty, but like,
yeah, well, no, but I mean, you're right. A lot of people don't know how to put video. I'm a professional videographer, and I still, if I put a riding video together, it's a whole different beast anyway. I mean,
Mhm.
a lot of people I've seen videos where they just put it and they just put them out and they put that video out there. There's no real cool editing. We're not all Eric riding dirty. Like his production value is above and beyond. But yeah, it's gonna take a minute to find your voice, I guess, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes a minute to find your voice. And then once it's going to take a minute to figure out, if you're not familiar with editing, the software program, finding your editing style, finding out what works for you and getting that flow down. And being like, for me, it started to feel like I want to make a familiar video. Like I'm going to make different videos, but something that when you come, you'll have a familiarity with my video or my channel. Like you can expect this, like this is going to be the intro. This is going to be the thing. Some of them switch up from that, but I think if it's identifiable and comfortable, that you kind of grow like I don't know, not grow. It becomes more like you're hanging out with people, and that's what I started to feel like after a while.
That's what I love about your videos is you're talking to me like you're talking to in your videos like you're talking to me now, and it's very relatable. It's just another guy out on a trail letting you know what to expect, where to grab a taco or a beer afterward.
Yeah.
You know, and did you set out, you said BKXC, you know, and he just kind of rides and he laughs a lot. That's what I like about his videos is you see him having a lot of fun on the trail.
Right.
You want to ride, but you were like, did you actually sit down and did it come to you? Like, okay. Oh, I guess what I'm saying is, did you have like a mission statement at first? Like, okay, this is how I'm going to do my videos. I'm going to be a trail guide, or it just kind of came to you naturally.
I just like, it goes back to what I was saying before when I was making videos for my wife and Pip as a joke. One day I just turned on the camera and I started talking to the audience and I made a video out of that. And I think the first one was the luge, how to ride the luge. And I was just like over talking and didn't really know what to say because you start a channel, it's tough. Like you have 0 subscribers. So you feel like you're talking to nobody at first, you know? So if you go back and watch the video now, it's got like a couple thousand views, but like, you know, it's weird watching it in the frame of mind that I started in, because you really are talking to nobody at first, but then you build an audience and you feel like, wow, I'm actually, I'm talking to people now. It feels different.
Yeah.
Like, even though you're still talking to yourself, you are still talking to people. And that's what's, sometimes it always freaks me out. I'll see people in the wild and I'll be just talking to the camera and I'll be like, hey, how you doing? Blah, 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 blah. And it looks like a crazy person, but you know, you get used to it after a while.
I had ridden, and I know I had ridden with an old buddy of mine a few months ago, and we went back to the trail that I started out on, and I want to make a video of that, of where I first started mountain biking. And so I was just shooting video for the hell of it. And he was like ahead of me and he's like, would you shut up? Because I'm sitting there talking and yapping. And he's just like, all you do is talk. And I'm like, if I post a video, I'm a creator now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have to hope that I'm talking to somebody.
Yeah. It's funny. I talk to people that have channels. I won't mention them, but they've had people that don't ride with them anymore because they started doing that. Like their friends were like, no, I'm over it. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to be on camera. And I don't want you talking to yourself. And I'm like, you know, I have a lot of people I ride with have channels. So everybody gets it. Everybody's on each other's side.
Mark says, Tony has been coaching me for my videos to show a specific side of me. So cool that he would even take the time to care and want to see the channel get better. He the man.
Mark's great. Mark is as genuine as it gets, man.
It's painful. It's painful. I really love Mark to death. And that when we were in Sky Park, it was funny because talking about talking, it was at a Mox event and I flew out there and he goes, I want to follow Johnny. Everybody just keep going. I don't care. I just want to follow me. Why? I have no idea. I'm slow out there. I'm not used to downhilling. And I joked when we got done sleigh, the upper sleigh. We got done, we pulled down, everyone stopped, and I go, oh my God, Adam would not shut up. And all I could do is hear him talking in the background. It was cracking me up.
Yeah, that's how you sound, or I sound. Everybody sounds. The funny thing is, if you do it in a line when everybody's making videos, you hear everybody talking at the same time, going down the trail, doing their own videos.
All you got to do is say, GoPro, start recording.
Yeah.
And hear tons of beats. Now, where has this mountain biking taken you? I mean, you don't just sit there in California and go, here's the Fullerton Loop, here's Greer
Yeah.
again. I mean, you got to keep this fresh, right?
I try to. I try to plan out these trips when it comes to bike park season. Like I'm gonna redo my trip where Pip got lost. I talked to everybody. I had deals, resort deals with a bunch of different bike parks in Vail and Crested Butte, just like
Wow.
4 different places. And I basically was like, my dog went missing. Do you understand? And they were like, oh my God, yes. I'm so sorry to hear that. Let's just do it next summer. So I'm going to be doing another Colorado bike tour this summer. I want to get to Bentonville. I've been to Whistler twice.
Oh, wow.
I've been to Northern California a bunch. Utah is one of my favorite places to go. I'll be going there again in the spring. I want to keep going to new places too. I want to go up to Jackson Hole. So right now is like this year I'm going to go and see where the channel goes and where it brings me, and then decide at the end of the year to kind of see what I want to do from there. Because I do miss having a stable income. That's kind of important. It's been a grind for a while, so we'll see what happens. But something that's cool as it's happening is that I've been recently working with Mazda. I don't know if you've watched some of the channels, but Mazda is going to be working with me. I'm the first content creator they're going to be working with. They're going to give me I picked out a CX50 of 2024. I know, it's crazy, but I'm waiting for it. It's on a boat right now, and it's going to be like a long-term loaner. I'm going to get that, and they're going to be a new channel sponsor. So I haven't really talked about that on the channel yet because I'm waiting for the video, but
I got car sponsorship.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Now, did they reach out to you?
What's that?
Did they reach out to you, or
I kind of pitched them a while ago. So the short story is I've been working with Mazda for a while through an auto agency that works with influencers.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep using Mazda, keep asking for Mazdas, and they love the content I was making. So I was like, instead of me getting a friggin' Mazda from you every other month, why don't you just let me use one for long term? And the guy was like, okay, that's an amazing idea. And it went all the way up to the top. And then somebody said no. So 6 months later, somebody emailed me and they were like, this came up again and it's been okayed. And you're the first person that we want to work with. So yes, let's do it. Let's do a 6 month to a year trial. Pick out the vehicle you want. Go online. Pick out your dream build. It was ridiculous.
Holy cow, that's amazing.
I picked out the most expensive one with all the good stuff on it. And I'm waiting for it right now. It's on a boat. I was supposed to be here in October, but yeah, it should be here any week. Like, we'll see. Like,
oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I mean, that's like it's a pretty big deal for me. I feel like, I'm pretty excited about it.
That's pretty big. And as Jarno there in Finland, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Dropping news.
Dream build of Mazda. That is huge for a mountain biker. Usually you get a bike or maybe some shoes, or I mean, I don't know how. I'm not sponsored by anybody, but yeah, are they going to give you gas money?
I asked that. They said no. He said, you got to talk. He said you got to talk to Exxon.
No, you had mentioned Jackson Hole. That's where I've got a taste for downhilling. We go. We go out to Jackson Hill every year. My in-laws have a place out there, and ride Teton Village. And I've known since COVID they've grown those trails. But oh man, if you go, let me know.
Yeah, I would love to. So when I go to Park City, I always look at it like it's only like 3 more hours north. So the next time I go to Park City, I might try to dabble up there. You trying to get up there? Do you want to meet up?
I would love to. And I know that my wife would totally, we'd go to Jackson Hole in a second. I think I'm actually going this summer. I know I'm going next Christmas. Can't ride bike there at Christmas, but yeah, Jackson Hole's a lot of fun. If you ever go, just hit me up, and love to meet you out there. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, let's stay in touch this coming warmer months.
Yeah. Warmer months. You guys are getting cooler out there.
I know right now it's perfect. It's like 70-degree highs.
Yeah. I saw you went to Sky Park just recently, and we're just talking about Oh man, I actually wore a jacket today. It was in the 70s today here. That's
Yeah.
weird for us because
Wow.
New Year's. I remember last New Year's Eve we were on a boat watching all the fireworks all over town, and we were just sweating. So humid. Yeah, I could be a SoCal guy. I could probably be talked into moving
Yeah.
out there.
It's hot in the summer, but the winter is beautiful.
Is there a dream park that you want to get to? I mean, you kind of go this far in the United States. Is there anything east that you want to?
Highland Mountain Bike Park, like in Vermont. There's a bunch in Colorado that I didn't make it to. But I would love to do a cross country trip at some point and just hit up everything. But it seems to be like the thing that sucks about that is when you drive all the way across, you got to drive all the way back.
Yeah,
It's a long one.
I've done that.
I mean, I've been to Whistler, so that's like my dream park. I've already checked my bucket list dream park off. That place is insane. So I was able to ride Whistler and my God, I'm messing up the other trails there I went to ride.
Like the other trails there.
Vancouver, the North Shore, all those trails were amazing.
Okay, yeah. Is Tony going to Sedona?
I don't think so. I don't really have plans to go to Sedona right now, but I've been there a bunch. I like to go to Sedona when it's not so crazy, when the festival's not going on. There's just so many people there. Part of it is like this, like my mind state, if I'm going to go to the Sedona Bike Festival, I want to go there and hang out and be social and then go back or stay later and ride the trails when everybody's gone. Because it's kind of chaotic at that time.
Thank you. Thank you. I would love to go to these festivals. I would love to go to Sedona. I don't think my lungs or my talent for climbing would be good for, but I would love to hang out.
Yeah. And I wish they liked e-bikes.
I would love to go. I would love to go to Bentonville.
Yeah.
I saw videos from some of those guys here and it's chaos.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the trails would just be packed. I would like to do I wish I was as big as like Seth Bikes Hacks and they close a trail for you and you get to ride before anyone else gets on it.
Yeah.
Because it's too much.
I hopefully will be going there fairly soon. So I'll drop some news right now. I probably shouldn't say, but if you live in Bentonville, you already know this, but YT is creating another showcase there, another YT mill. It's almost open. It'll be open beginning of 2024. So they're going to have their whole outfit there, just like they do here in San Clemente. They're going to have another one there in Bentonville.
You're just dropping bombs on my show today, man.
Why not?
And what a great place to do it. I mean, that the mountain bike mecca capital of the United States. So are you going to go out there and help?
I don't know if I'll help, but I'll go out there and make a video. And the cool thing about it is I really don't want to deal with bringing an e-bike or my bike or any bike on a plane. So if they're going to have a demo fleet there, I'll just grab a YT decoy there, fly out there, and it'd be so easy just to go out there multiple times a year and just grab a bike and go and ride, having that bike friggin' travel with you is like having another person.
I'm too cheap to buy the bag.
Oh, I got a bag, but dude, even the price to fly it there is like hundreds of dollars. It's like, oh man, and then you got to put it back together. I'm lazy.
Oh yeah, I'm cheap. You're lazy. We get together and we'll just sit on the couch. So talk to me. You had mentioned your different forms or income. Your sponsorship, Patreon. Talk to me a little bit about your Patreon and what's involved in that. I don't have anything to offer people on Patreon, but you do.
So Patreon, it's basically I do product giveaways, I do early video releases, and one of the major things that we find most value in is if you live around here, and a lot of people on Patreon do, I do monthly group rides. So it's kind of hard for me to do group rides just from the YouTube channel because there's so many people. For me, one person to manage and be accountable for that, it just doesn't make sense. But for the Patreon group, it's usually like 10 to 25 people, and it's a lot easier to manage and keep everyone together. And then we hang out, we go get a ride together locally, and then we go out for lunch and beers afterward. And it's just kind of this fun little thing that we do. We just did doing an annual trip to Downeyville, California,
Yeah, that looks
where
fun.
we had them all come out. Adam was there, and it was just an amazing group. This is the second time we did it. Basically, take over Downeyville for the time being. Get shuttles out, Road Nevada City. They do events for us. They take restaurants that they were normally closed and they open them. It's just like this
Oh,
really.
wow.
It's really this experience that kind of shocked me that they were willing to cater to us this much, but it really went a long way, and it was really fun.
That's it. It looked like a lot of fun. The Patreon crew. I mean, who are these people? Are they just fans? These people that really want to support your? I just find that amazing that
Yeah, I
there's this
wouldn't say
community.
as much fans. It's basically like it's become a community of people that all
Mhm.
are like-minded and become friends. Like when I go to Downeyville with these people or we go on a group ride, we know everybody on a first name basis now. It's become we're just friends and family. Like they support the channel and
Mhm.
and they understand that like having this community outside of YouTube is it's like $4 a month or something like that to have this special thing. So it's like not like not like you're breaking the bank for this thing, and to keep this thing going, it also helps support me. So if you're a fan of the channel, it goes into my fees for like going on trips. Basically, it's gas money for me, right?
Yeah.
So it helps pay the bills, and it creates a great community for everybody to kind of meet new people. Like Kaz is in here.
Yeah.
He's a great part of the community. Like it's a good place to go meet like-minded people, go on rides together, hang out, meet new friends, and just have a good time.
Now, do y'all stay together, or you like hanging out all night, or is it just a ride and then?
In Downeyville, we hang out day and night. If
Oh,
it's
that's
a
a
whole
blast.
thing. Yeah, we're part of the group sticks together. If we're on a ride together, it's about a half day. We go out, we'll meet up for a 10 o'clock ride, we'll ride together, and then we'll have lunch, and then beers. I'm usually the last one there. Uh, and it's just a good day.
I like the fact that you said a 10 o'clock ride.
Yeah, no, I'm not an early bird. I'm in no rush to get out there at 6 a.m. I don't need to do it.
Yeah, I'm a 9 o'clock. Oh no, I'm a noon and after, even maybe sometimes 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Eh,
Yeah. I like the lunch ride.
yeah, I don't want to get up and ride. I gotta sit, chill, have my coffee,
Yeah.
relax. I can't. Plus, I'm afraid if I go out to the trail that early, nature's gonna call.
Oh yeah. You gotta wait for the early morning dump.
Yeah, I don't. The PRD. Um, so you had other riders. You had Adam, and I guess the segment here. I saw the videos. A Colorado kid. What other content creators hang out with you during that stuff? The Patreon rides.
So Colorado Kid was one that came out for the whole trip this time. Robert from the Biker Channel came out last time.
Oh wow.
Um, we went to Everstoke, which is BKXC's
Hmm.
new stomping grounds last year. It just all depends, like who's free in that time period, because it just depends on who's not traveling.
So you actually just hey, could you guys come out with me? And
I think Joe
bring
from
it.
the Colorado Kid channel saw I was doing it and hit me up because he lives in Sacramento, and he came out the first year. And
Mhm.
I've known Joe since before he blew up. Like when he started the channel, he had like 10 subscribers. So, like watching him grow has been amazing. But we've been friends along the way, and he's in this Slack group where we're all in. We all
Mhm.
help each other and kind of talk to each other.
Yeah.
So we become good friends through that and through seeing each other in person. So when he saw I was doing it again, he just jumped on it. Yeah, he doesn't sleep, man. He's like, I'm in bed, half naked, going to sleep, and he's yelling at me from the street of Downeyville, Tony, Tony. And I look out there, and he's got a freaking spotlight on my window, and he's like, I'm just going riding around town. And he like just goes out by himself and like
Oh my God.
rides around. He's got that energy is real, and it does not stop.
It's real and it doesn't stop. I always wondered if it's like it gets to a point with him where he's got to break free and just bring himself down a notch.
I
But
don't know. Maybe he just gets that when he's home with the family, and then he juices back up. Like the energy meter goes slowly because
how
it's
did you
out
get
there, man.
Adam's here again? And I find this fascinating with you two, because two of my, I love you guys as creators, and now I've got to meet you, and Adam is responsible for what you see on the screen here, and my logo. It's just great people. How did you guys meet? totally off the subject of mountain biking, but did you meet through mountain biking or?
Yeah. I don't remember how exactly we met. I think one time we met on a group ride where Adam introduced himself to me, and then I wish Adam were here. We could get him on because he could
He is.
probably
He's
tell the
great.
story better. I don't
He's-
know. I don't know. All of a sudden, one day I'm texting Adam and we're good friends. That's all I remember.
Just an
We text
amazing,
like every day now. We go
amazing
back and
human.
forth.
I
Adam's
love
a
your,
great dude, man. He's
yeah,
got
I
really
love
good
your
advice.
community. What?
He's
Sorry.
got really good advice. He's very honest, and he's not going to candy coat shit.
Yeah, he's a good kid. But that's why I was jumping in with. Your community out there is amazing.
Thank you. It feels good.
It really is. Like I said, at Sky Park, I was just in awe of it.
Yeah.
Just
There's a lot of
everybody
people
knew
doing different things here. There's a lot of people in a small space too. But the cool thing about it is it doesn't feel competitive. We're all just doing our thing, you know.
Yeah, that's what my wife loves about this community is that we're all patting each other on the back. We're all supporting each other. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm a nobody, but I'm still a very, very, very small channel. And the fact that there's so much support from you guys and from people all over the country and Jarno's in Finland, Marty's in New Zealand, it's just I don't feel like there's no ego.
No. And if there is, those people get kind of lost in the fray, if that makes sense. Like this doesn't work out. Like there's no like deleting somebody, but if they've got an ego or if they're kind of corny, not corny even, that doesn't even sound right, but a dick.
Dick.
It doesn't work, like, because everyone's too nice for that. Everyone will just kind of like not go to that. Like the energy is different. I'm not like a new age guy or anything. I know I've been saying energy a lot, but it's just kind of, you know what I'm saying.
You have a certain energy. Mine's a little off. And Adam said, you said that he met you on a group ride.
And then again, I do remember that. That was a Path Bike Shop ride. Yeah, I'm not friends with MTB Allen anymore, but you know. Well,
okay, I didn't want to bring anything up.
But yeah, we met on a group ride. I think it was the Path Bike Shop. Alan was there, and it was at the end of the ride. And then Adam said down here, "Don't be a dick." I'll remember that. Good advice.
I was going to ask you. God, I get so thrown off. Mountain biking. Do you find the same? Obviously, you do. You find the same kind of joy that you had as a skateboarder on a bike now that you're.
It's different though. Like I find more of the bike riding is more meditative than the skateboarding was, because I used to always skate with people, and now I ride my bike to get away from people sometimes and to get that meditative state. Like it's just all things. It actually adds some things that skating didn't have, you know, like that, like getting out there in nature. Like I'm growing up skating in New York, and I'm in the alleys of these pissy smelling urinated hallways in the middle of the summer, skating in trash, moving a trash bin to skate this dumpster. And now I'm in like this ocean viewed trail that's been manicured with beautiful Sherwood forest trees everywhere. Yeah. So it's like it feels a little different.
You don't smell the piss anymore. And that's what I like about riding, is that everything else in your head is kind of going. You're like zoomed in, focused on 10 feet in front of you or whatever. And the scenery, that's what I loved about the Sky Park, is it's different scenery for me to see these beautiful tall trees. And you always have the appreciation station.
Yeah, I love that. I brought it back recently. That's the thing that it helps me as much as the people in the videos. I hope maybe takes that minute where you just appreciate where the bike brings you, man. Like, look where I am, look at this view, appreciate the moment, stop for a second on the trail and take it in, because the trails go by so fast and the view go by so fast. If you just stop once in a while and like, hey, look at today. And then you log that memory and you think back on it at lunch later, or when you're going to sleep, like you got that little memory that you stopped at. And it's almost like a bookmark. in your ride, you know?
Wow. Preach it, man. That sounded so good. I'm getting that tattooed on me.
That's what it feels like. Those appreciation stations are bookmarks on my ride where I think back on it. And I'm always like, man, that was a good moment. And then here we go. We're back to the ride, onward and upward, you know?
I gotta end it on that. No, I'm just kidding. But that was so real. What you just said is to take that moment because the riding does.
Yeah.
You're like this, and all of a sudden you get stopping.
Yeah. Holy crap. I'm on the top of a cliff above the Pacific Ocean or something, or above the Atlantic Ocean, or above for you, above an alligator somewhere in a swamp.
Yeah, you're a full-time YouTuber.
Yeah.
And you were a full-time skater at the time. Do you find it hard to have that discipline to get up and go, I have to do A, B, and C today. I have to give to my Patreon today. I have to stay relevant on the social medias. Do you have like a planner every day
I
or?
don't have a planner. I have a very big personality glitch called guilt, where if I'm not, where if I'm not doing enough, I will destroy my mental health.
I guess back to your OCD.
I need to do stuff. I need to be active and productive, or else I just feel like a piece of crap. So yeah, I don't have a planner as much. If I have a trip, I'll have a more of a planner and like days of like, this is going to be my on day, this is going to be my B-roll day, and this is going to be my social media day. I have it more planned out. But if I'm home, my time is more free, open, so I can do that. Like it's also saying that like I do other things on the side. Like I'm trying to do take on clients for social media and things like that. So it helps my income. It doesn't take up a lot of time, but it's more of a part-time thing. So when I'm home, I'm able to do that stuff more. But as far as social media and in creating videos, yeah, for me, it's almost like a weekly thing. Like I know what I have to do.
All right, because I don't know if I could. I guess I was having fun mountain biking and creating the fun content. I could probably get myself to do it. People say, after COVID, people were working from home and stuff, and I don't know if I could do that. I'm not disciplined. I'd be like,
Yeah,
squirrel, and
yeah.
totally get
It's
off
tough.
of it.
It's funny because I've been working from home even before COVID. Like, so that was part of I was a social media manager. So
Mhm.
with that job, you're on kind of 24 hours a day, even weekends. So I'm kind of used to training and being on and having that discipline the thing that sucks is that I'm trained to look at my phone. So it's an automatic thing, like to keep checking. And because I was managing accounts that had like almost 1 million followers and things like that. So you're
Oh,
constantly getting
wow.
comments. And, I was doing Etnies, skate, Etnies, bike, Etnies lifestyle, Facebook, all the different accounts. So one of the things is that like I wouldn't negotiate it was like, hey, I can't be here 9 to 5 because my job extends outside into the world all
Yeah.
weekend long. So I'd come in for meetings, but be on my own. And that's kind of one of the ways I was able to start the channel was having that working from home thing where it was like, okay, instead of, going to lunch right now, I'm going to go on a bike ride and film a video. And then I'd come back and I'd be like, whatever, get on with my life. But I really like the freedom that working from home gives me. I think that for me, I get it. A lot of people would not be okay with like managing themselves, or they would. I kind of miss that sometimes too, having someone on my ass be like,
get going.
Yeah, but I do an okay job of it, I think.
Now, being a full-time YouTuber, it just sounds a lot of, the older crowd, even my age, people are like, "You do this full time."
Yeah.
When you sat back, when you got laid off and you're married and said, I want to go full blast on YouTube, was it very supportive?
Yeah, she was into it. I mean, the channel was doing good. And to be honest with you, it was like I had no other real big choice at the time. It was like I either immediately do this or I look for another job in COVID. And which was like,
Oh, yeah.
what are you going to do? You know what I mean? Collect unemployment. That's all your real option is. Nobody's hiring. So I was like,
Perfect timing.
just going to do this, man. I'm just going to make a go of it. And then as COVID ended, I was still doing it. I don't know if she's as excited I'm doing it now because I'm not making any more money, but We'll
Get in the
see.
car.
She's still with me.
You get in the car. Honey, do you hear that? Wife's very supportive about full-time YouTube. Doesn't hurt.
There you go.
Now, do you find yourself skating anymore?
Yeah, I just went skating. Oh my God, I just went skating for the first time in 3 years.
I think I saw a video of that.
Yeah, I met up with one of my favorite skateboarders in the world, Heath Kirchart. I saw him there. This other guy, Leo Romero. It was a special day. But the reason I didn't have a video this week is because I was so friggin' sore from skating. I could barely walk for 4 days. Like I don't know what happened. I went from not skating for 3 years to skating for like 3 hours, and I could barely move the next day. So I've been on the mend from skating. I guess the thing is, I just have to go more.
You're really using different muscles for. I mean, I figure
Yeah.
with mountain biking, you're using everything. You're using your upper body when you're going down, and your lower body when you're going. And
My ankles and my thighs, the upper thighs. I guess you're not using those in mountain biking as much because those were dead. Those like from like the shock of jumping down things. I could barely move it. I was walking around literally. I wish I had a cane. That's how bad it was.
Oh, the age is setting in.
Yeah.
Did you miss it? And do you feel like you want to get back?
Yeah. I'm gonna start going once a week at least. And in fact, we made like a little club between those guys. We're gonna go and force ourselves to meet up every week and go to a skate park. And I think it'll come back. I'm trying to get it to come back to me a little bit.
That's all. Now, being back to the discipline, and do you have to put out a video every week, or?
I did for 5 years or 4 years. So I'm giving myself leniency now. If I don't make it a week, I used to beat myself up. I actually never did it. I made a video every week, but now I'm kind of like, I'll be completely honest with you. This past year, I went through an area of time where I was burnt out on it. I think just making a video every week and just where I was, I don't know if I was depressed or what, but like I gained like a bunch of weight. I was not happy with the way I was riding. I was sick of making videos every week. I kind of lost this passion.
Yeah.
I needed to like switch my mental health around a little bit. I got a little sluggish with where I was headed, a little down on myself. So I took the time I needed and made a couple of videos here and there. I started to get myself on a program where I lost some weight, took some time off from the bike, and started riding without the camera. And probably in the last 3 months, I started to get the mojo back. I started to feel fun again. And I started to just feel like I used to. And so that's why I'm back, baby.
He's back. Someone is just, I think it was Maddie Trail Pimp or somebody up here had asked how you lost. I mean, somebody said you're svelte now. How did you lose weight? I never noticed you gaining or.
Oh man, if you watch there's a video on my channel called "Did I Lose the Weight?" and I do a 6-month video beforehand, 6 months ago, and it looks way different. If you go down a little bit,
1 pound meatball. Did I lose the weight?
There it is. Did I lose the weight? Like if you start that video at the beginning, my face looks a lot different.
I got to pay the bills. He's got to get gas money for that new Mazda.
Yeah, I mean, look at my face.
Right yeah, I guess so. I never really noticed that. Why won't it let me enlarge this? It's weird. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I guess you did. I never noticed that. I guess
yeah.
I
was about 30 pounds above of where I'm at right now, and I tried to lose it too quickly at first. I tried to like jump the gun and like.
Where if you're on Spotify, we were looking at. I gave myself 6 months. Here's what happened. Him losing his 30 pounds. I never noticed that transformation. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was a pain in the ass and it sucked. It was not fun. I started to like do weird things at first, like starve myself and then only eat no bread and then I was like, you know what? I started to read up a little bit and I was like, I just need to watch how much I eat. Basically, during COVID, I was drinking way too many beers and overeating. And I didn't notice how much that had increased because it was over such a slow period of time.
Yeah.
So I was cleaning a 6-pack of IPAs and having like double what I would usually do for dinner. And after you have a couple of beers or you drink, you're hungry again. So I
Yeah.
drink. It's just a
Oh my God.
bad routine. So what
Yeah.
what I ended up doing is like regimenting myself. Like instead of eating a full sub, I'd eat like 6 inches, and then have 2 beers instead of 6. So I didn't like. I try to do it in a more of a realistic approach instead of starvation. And slowly, in the first month and a half or 2 months, I lost like 10 pounds, and I was like, okay, you're on to something. And it wasn't for without help. Like I did read up a lot and on how to do this stuff, but I just didn't
Yeah.
pick one specific crazy diet like paleo. I didn't like go into those gimmick things. I just stopped eating as much and stopped drinking as much. Damn
Yeah,
it.
I've been doing that for 52 years, is the eating too much and whatnot. I'm a big guy. But for my when I was turning 50, I said, I want to be in the best shape I've been in. I don't know how long. I've always been a big guy. I was a big guy when I was a kid who stood next to the teacher in the class photos. All I did was I cut out everything.
Yeah.
I just ate what to fuel. I was eating, before I was eating French fries and pizza and whatnot. And
Yeah.
I cut all that out. And when I turned 50, I was down to, and I was riding a lot. And son of a, if I can't, I've heard someone on some other channel before, as fast as I can lose it, I can gain it that quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I pretty much gained almost all of it back.
Dude, it comes quick. Like I got sloppy with it a couple of weeks ago, gained 5 pounds in like 3 days. Just one bad night of drinking and overeating. And I was like, what the hell? Like, I worked so hard for that, like to get it.
You get the guilt.
It's obnoxious.
Do you find yourself riding better now again, now that the weights come off?
Oh man, I feel much lighter. And not only that, I felt like when I went skating again, I felt like so much lighter on my skateboard. I feel lighter on the hills. Yeah, it does make a difference. I mean, think about 30 pounds is like 2 bowling balls, small child you're carrying around.
Yeah.
So, like I definitely feel like the difference. Like I'm at the weight right now where I started the channel at, and it feels pretty good. It feels good because it was a pain in the ass too. Like it wasn't easy, but I just got to keep it here. It's easy to like slip back into your old habits though,
Man, I spent so much time working hard, riding all the time. I was riding like 20 miles a day, not eating. And then it was the 50th birthday. It was the going away for Thanksgiving. It was the going away for Christmas. And I swear I put it all back by March.
Oh, really?
And it was like I lost it up until November, and then March, I was almost back to the same. I'm like, son of a.
Yeah.
So I've really got to, I want to look pretty.
I'm a face
on YouTube.
You look pretty. Don't worry about it.
No, I'm not fishing. So now that you're a big YouTuber, and you are, I mean, 20, what do you got? 20 some thousand?
I don't feel that. I mean, I'm always comparing myself to other people. I don't feel like I'm
Don't
that big
do
of a
that.
channel.
Look at that number right there. Hold on. Let's back this up. I am back on his YouTube page. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at right there. 26.7. I mean, how does that feel to know that you've affected or have created something? And I'm asking this because I was talking to someone about it today. I always bash myself about how little I am. But I've created something that there's people on here right now watching.
Mm-hmm.
And they're watching because they want to see you. But
no,
I created something that somebody wants to watch where you're on. So how do you feel knowing that you like 26,000 people are willing to want to see by hitting a subscribe?
Oh man,
is that a good feeling?
It's weird. It's weird and positively fantastic. Like I forget sometimes. Like so I'm so used to talking to my audience, like when I make videos and stuff like that. I just kind of see everybody. I don't see the numbers, but I see like people that come up to me almost every ride and they say, nice to meet you. I started riding because of you, right? I found your channel. I started mountain biking. And that's when I'm like, holy crap, that's when it really affects me. Cause that's literally changing someone's life. And if you bring someone into mountain biking, it is life-changing because you're going to be healthier. You're going to be on your bike. You're going to see more things. Your mental health's going to increase. So it's a big deal. I'm nothing but thankful. I'm thankful that everybody watches the videos because they take a lot of time to put together too, you know, like it's a lot of work on the back end. So it's just all good. I love it.
Yeah, it's got to be a gratifying and neat feeling that what you're doing is hitting that subscribe button. Like people don't understand it. Like that. My mom goes, I don't even know what that means. And I was like, it means that person wants to watch what's coming up next. You know,
They're
that's
sticking around for the long haul.
yeah. I've actually again about you. But I had that feeling once I went to a Virginia Key here and they were having a kids ride. They were teaching kids how to ride mountain bikes. And I was like, I got to get out there, maybe throw out some stickers. And there was one guy that I wanted to meet, but I handed this kid a sticker and the mom turned around and goes, she saw the sticker. She goes, Johnny.
No way.
And she turned around and I'm like, oh, hey, what's going on? She was like, oh my God, I follow you. I love what you're doing on Instagram and stuff. I saw my son with the sticker and I was like, where's Johnny?
That's amazing.
That was a really cool. That was like one of my first, like really cool, like
Yeah.
oh, somebody local watches me.
That's
And
awesome,
I
man.
thought that
That's
was
the
really,
stuff. That's the
and
stuff that you're going to hold on to, and it's going to keep you motivated.
yeah, it was keep it up, Johnny. People are noticing. Well, it's because of the really nice stickers that logo you created, man. Who
Yeah,
created?
Adam's
Did
awesome.
Adam create your logo?
He created the second one, the one with Pip on it.
Oh, okay. That's great. He's such a fantastic human being.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is kind of funny how you get noticed out there, and it is kind of a neat feeling. The trail boss at Virginia Key, Halloween.
Mm.
I don't know if he knows me. Blah blah blah. I was handing out stickers, and I've been to Virginia Key a million times, but and I know everyone knows him. He's this guy named Frenchie. So I was at a friend's house, and all the trick or treaters are up the street, and we're there, and I saw Frenchie, and I go, "Hey, are there's new trails open?" Just kicking it. And he's like, "Oh no, they're going to be blah blah blah. They're going to be coming out next month. Blah blah blah. We're still working on them." And I said, "By the way, I'm Johnny from Mountain Bike Q&A. I have a podcast." He goes, "No, I know who you are."
Oh, cool.
It was one of these like, so and you've got 26,000 of those. So
I'm the worst with that stuff. I've always done this, and it's my negative. I always look like, why aren't I at 30? Why aren't I at 40, 50? And I compare myself with other channels where I'm just being better at it lately, being happy with where I'm at, because that's a shitload of people that will tune in and want to see what I'm doing. So I'm really thankful. I'm working on that side of things, being more thankful instead of I'm trying to take less things in life for granted and stop and then let them click, you know?
Yeah, 26. That's great. Back to me for a second. No, I'm just kidding. No, when we're talking about numbers, I was on a cruise. We were in Iceland and we were on a cruise, and some guy was talking about what you do for a living. And so I veer off and told him I have a podcast. But I said it was little. It was like 80 subscribers at the time, or that was very in the beginning. And I said, I'm little. And he goes, yeah, but you have 80 people.
Mm-hmm.
You have 80 more people. 80 is more than zero.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it really, you got to put it in perspective is just
think about that many people in a room, you know, think about 80 people or 26,000 people. Like there's that, think about that in person that's what I try to picture sometimes. Like I'll be like, I only get 1,000 views in the first few hours or whatever in a video. And I'm like, that's 1,000 people, Tony, shut up. You know, like,
now, is your wife a big fan of your channel?
No.
At least you're honest.
No, I'm just kidding. She's watched she's watched hundreds and hundreds of videos, and she loves what I do. She helps me with thumbnails. She's super supportive. I just don't make her watch all the videos anymore because it's just me riding my bike a lot of the time. I'll have her watch the intro and then make sure I'm not looking like an idiot, but I won't make her watch the bike riding. But she's super helpful and super supportive. She helped me design the first logo of the channel with the tire and stuff. So she's in design, so she's very helpful.
Yeah, I just recently deep dived. I mean, you can go back forever here. It's just Oh, it's just 5 years. I mean, this is why I say
Yeah.
you're like a pioneer, because this is when I guess BKXC, Brian and Seth and all them started.
I'm after them probably 2
You're just
years.
right after them.
Yeah, there was that first video I made. That
I
man, that was
love
so
that.
long ago. What does that say? How many years ago is that?
It was 5
5?
years ago. It's great. God, you and your bills.
I
But look at
pay for
that,
YouTube
5 years
Premium.
ago. Look at that number right there
See,
at the
that's
bottom.
crazy. So that's my first video. How many views does this have?
I was at work, so I had to stop this video. Where's the logo? I want to see the
Oh, it'll come on. I
lighting
think
on.
I used the Stranger Things theme here before I was monetized.
You know what's funny is I noticed on one of your videos, early videos, was the chain on the chain ring sound.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yep.
used that in the beginning of mine. It's like on your Apple
Yeah, it's on the
Final Cut
basic.
Pro.
Yep.
Where's the logo? The Luge.
I used to do this thing where I filmed my rides with the Rilo 360 camera. I stopped doing this. There it is. Yeah, my wife and I
That's
designed
pretty
that together.
decent. She created that.
I had the idea and she put it together.
Nice. Does she have a background in graphics?
Yeah,
That's
she's
decent.
so her job is she's the major swimsuit designer for Target. So she's a full-on InDesign illustrator, all those programs.
She's a swimsuit designer.
Yeah, if you go into Target across any Target and go to the women's swimsuit area, she's designed that.
Oh, wow, that's really cool.
Because you know how Target does, they like hire outside sources and designers to make their stuff. So she's an agent. She works for the agency that does that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
I love that.
She's busy. She's a busy gal.
Did she create? This is totally off mountain bike, but the new bikini bottoms that have the stitching down the crack.
I don't know. I can ask her when she gets home.
That, and it's pinched, and it looks so. Honey, I'm sorry.
You get yourself in trouble here.
I did. Oh, I just learned that. I just learned that tonight. I Googled it.
What?
I accidentally hit my mouse, and I've done this on podcasts before where you zoom in like it's just your face. I couldn't see anything else. And folks, if you're watching and you accidentally zoom in on your web browser on your iMac, just tap your mouse twice and it'll zoom it back. It worked. I'm sorry. So what can we expect from Tony the Outsider MTB coming up?
I'm still working on my Laguna series here. I love what I'm doing right now. I'm getting back to my core trail guides. So I'm doing trail guides, vlogs. I'm going to be doing some traveling soon. I'm waiting for basically like spring into summer to plan out my big trips, but I'm going to try to go to St. George in this winter because it's still kind of like not snowy there, which is kind of cool. So maybe my next trip will be St. George. I'll probably go to Vegas again because they keep offering me free hotel rooms and lose some money. Maybe I'll make another vlog from there. I don't know. It'd be nice to go to Vegas and do some bike riding too. So, yeah.
Now, when you plan these trips out, I mean, you have a wife and a dog. They get to, but she gives you the freedom to just, this is your job. You're like, honey.
Yeah. And because she does too. She goes everywhere in a whim. So we kind of have this trading back and forth. Mine is a little bit different though than hers. Hers, she has to go. It's like, I'm going this day and this day. Luckily, I work from home, or I don't have a job, whatever you want to call it. And I'm here to watch the dog. But for me, it's like I kind of plan it out a little bit better. The problem is when I go on trips and stuff, a lot of the places that I work with, like the resorts and things, they want me to come during the week because it's slow time. And that's the time she works. So really the only problem is we have is Pip, is having someone watch him. Yeah. I'm able to bring him about half the time. Like I brought him to San Luis Obispo.
It was awesome
last time. So he loves going on trips, man. So yeah, I don't really know. I haven't planned out 2024 yet, but I'm working on it in the next month or so.
It's amazing. How do you feel? I mean, you're very, I don't even know how to say, not lucky, but you're very, for the lack of a better word. I mean, it's an amazing thing that you just get to mountain bike
Yeah,
and travel. I mean, is there any moment where, I mean, you told me earlier that you had a little down lull in the weight gain and the kind of feeling down, but how incredible do you feel sometimes? You wake up and like, I got to go to work. Let me put the bike on the back of the car.
yeah.
I mean, really?
I know. Well, the thing that's different is, dude, honestly, the YouTube game is a hustle.
Yeah.
Like it's not like me going to ride my bike equals paycheck. You know what I mean? It's like it's all relative. So I don't know. Sometimes I think like, am I doing this right? Like in life, like, am I doing this for too long? Like, am I wasting my life? And then I'm like, no way. You just went to San Luis Obispo and you had this amazing experience. You're creating memories forever. Like on your deathbed, Tony, you're going to remember, why didn't I do more of that? So that's
Yeah.
what I got to tell myself. When I got into that little lull and that like down cycle, I was not living in that moment. I was living in like, man, my income is unstable. I'm worried about my bills. Am I doing this for too long? I feel forced to ride my bike to make videos. And I felt like I needed to take a step back to appreciate it again. Like sometimes you're too in it. You need
Yeah.
to get out of the room, to see the full room, to see the pictures on the wall. You get away from this tunnel vision and just see everything for what it is. And I needed to do that. And that's what helped me slowly gravitate back to it.
Sounds like you're hanging out with Adam too much. No, but no, it's funny that you mentioned that. I was just talking again with my therapist today about that. It's like, I was talking about like 5 or however many years from now, when I want to retire, do I want to try to retire early and maybe just get a part-time job and have fun and do whatever? But it's just like, appreciate the day.
Yeah.
But you get to appreciate the day on a mountain bike. And here's a leading question to that. Do you ride every day as a creator and come up with something while you're riding?
No, I don't ride every day. I probably ride only 2 days a week right now. So I have a lot of time on my hands. I do other things like help clients with social media. I read a lot of books. I have a lot of downtime where that's what kind of like I'm looking for other things right now. So within that time that I have, it allows me to go on these trips. So like I'll go on a trip for 2 weeks and then come back and have like a week where I go riding twice, but I'll have a lot of downtime that allows me to edit or read or, for lack of a better thing, go play some video games and have some fun, It's kind of a cool life. It's just, I live within guilt. I live with guilt so much that I end up feeling like if I have too much of a good time, I need to like, the masochist in me wants to like punish me. I have this devil and angel thing where it's like,
no time to play. Gotta work.
Get out of here. Yeah.
I find that interesting is that, I mean, I guess we all, not all of us, because I really don't know if I would want to do this full time, but YouTube is a grind. Like I had Biking with Bobo on here, and that's how he makes his money on YouTube. And he's like, he like you say, it is, you have to wake up. He has to write scripts. You got to put it out or you don't get paid. You
For sure. And he just had a kid.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of different responsibilities than I do right now. So, and he's a bigger channel, obviously, but he takes definitely more care of his videos than I do. Mine, I don't need a script. I just go out and make it happen. He creates kind of comedy. And
that's
like I love his videos. You could tell he's got a background in it. But yeah, I'm sure he's, feeling that anxiety a little bit right now with like, can I make this work? Or am I going to have to go back to getting a regular job? Like, not that this isn't a regular job, but it's not a regular job.
Yeah, it's not a regular job. That's great that you brought that up in script. And I know you got a life to get to. So you don't have an outline of things that you want to mention or a script or anything. You just go out there and you know the area, or you've spent a day there and throw it out there while you're talking, while you're riding.
Yeah, I'm learning as I go. If it's a new place, if I'm on a trip, you're learning as I'm learning. I don't know what's going on. If it's somewhere that I know, like Laguna, maybe I've made a video there before. I'll just talk about nonsense, talk about what movie I'm watching or something like that. I don't really know. I really don't. Like, I'll just have a coffee on the way to the ride and then get my bike out and here we go. Whatever comes in my mind comes out. I don't have a script or anything like that, really. I think that's kind of what makes it fun for me. If it was too script based and too tightly wound, I would feel like uncomfortable. I'm more of like the organic personality, like let it come out. I'll edit it out later. If I talk too much, I'll clip it. Just talk your ear off, Tony. And then like later on, you'll move it around or something, you know, who knows?
I love that about your channel. It's just, I can't, I'm trying to breathe half the time. And you guys are, and I'm like, how are they not passing out right now?
It's tougher on the downhills, that's for sure. It's tougher when I'm like going through a rock garden. Yeah, it takes a different level for that.
Tony's a one-take wonder. Oh God, a train wreck. Train didn't just derail. It always happens to me. It's I'm getting better at it, I think.
Wait, did you forget something?
No, like I was going somewhere and then I get to listening to you and then all of a sudden
the train derailed.
Train derails. Oh my God. Way back. We're going back to skating again.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to skating again. Geez, come on, Johnny, bring it together, bud. Did you have previous production experience in the skating? Were you also a guy holding the 8mm with the fisheye lens, or?
Nope. The first video I ever edited was when I started making mountain bike videos. I never edited or made a video before. So I taught myself. That's why I tell people, I just saw some buddies I hadn't seen in a couple of years since when I was skating. And I was telling them, like, dude, it's like I put myself through school. Like, I learned how to use Final Cut. I taught myself how to use the whole software program. Now I'm like a pro at it. I became more comfortable talking in front of a camera. And now put me in front of a sales meeting and I'll kill it. I don't really give a shit. And then like, you know, like, I've overall just become more comfortable with who I am through the process. Like, you build a thicker skin. You get enough shitty comments coming in at you. You're just like, you learn to bat them away here and there, you know, like, so I think even if the channel ended right now, I'm a better person for having it, you know?
Bad comments?
Yeah. People are dicks.
People are giving you, no, seriously, people are giving you bad comments?
Oh, for sure. I mean, if I'm riding an e-bike, somebody's going to talk crap about that. If I'm not going fast enough sometimes, if I'm going too fast, I should watch out for hikers. I should bring a bell.
Haters gonna hate.
People are gonna hate. Even when I was overweight, people called me, like, there's one guy called me fat, and I was like, that was it. That made me like wake up.
Junior high, or okay, he's fat.
Well, he called me like, you're getting overweight, and I was like, you know what? I am. That's actually, that was like one of those comments where I was like, I looked in the mirror and I was like, damn, dude, he's not wrong.
You're like, dick.
Yeah, dickhead.
Oh, man, he's not. You look over at the mirror and you're like, shit, he's.
Yeah, and then next time I'm like, this video is for you, dickhead.
That's another thing about being on camera and doing this, is the self-awareness.
Yeah.
And learning to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Further back, skating. And I just want to get into this because I skated. Not on any level. God, I was horrible, but I just loved doing it. Skate punk music, punk, Tiffany. What were you listening to at the time? I love hearing about stuff like this.
So one of my video parts had Minor Threat. I liked Fugazi a lot.
Yes.
Misfits,
Yes.
Descendants,
Circle Jerks.
Yes. Ancient Orange. Is it Ancient Orange?
Oh, I had an ex-girlfriend that was a big fan of Agent Orange.
Agent Orange is good. But I was also, in the 90s, I was a big 90s hip hop guy too.
Really?
Yeah, Black Sheep, Nas, Mobb Deep, Wu-Tang, Redman.
I never got into the rap. I went from
Yeah.
punk to I was big in the what was it, 120 minutes back then.
Oh yeah.
On MTV,
Yep.
MTV or MTV. I'm so used to this
MTV.
stuff.
I
It's
know.
MTV.
Was 120 minutes. Was that Kurt Loder?
120 minutes. It was oh god, it was
Or
all
was
the
the other guy with the long
alternative
hair?
stuff. I was a big fan of I'm still favorite band of all time is Pixies.
Oh, I love the Pixies.
Favorite band of all time. Yeah, I grew up listening to a lot of punk, Minor Threat, and stuff like that. And then it got to, are you still listening to that though?
Yeah, I go back nostalgia for nostalgia reasons. Like every once in a while, I'll throw it on. It's in my playlist for sure. I have like a skate playlist. I like to listen to that stuff before I go ride.
I was going to say, do you listen while you ride, or are you just too focused to giving us the tour?
I don't listen to music while I ride. I just need to tune it out, and I'll listen to it before. I just need. There's a couple of reasons. One, I feel like I need to hear the trail. I need to hear if there's people. I just want to be like aware enough. But if I'm doing like the Fullerton loop, where it's just basically like a pedal, I'll listen to music.
I
But
can't.
anything downhill fast, I like don't listen to music.
If I do a street ride, I got those bone conducting things now.
Mm-hmm.
Those headphones. I'll listen to a book, or I can listen to music. But on a trail, I have to have all senses going.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
or
me
I'm going to
too.
lose it. I'm going to fall. I'm going to do something.
Me too. That's kind of how I feel.
Meddy's big Neil Diamond rider.
I love a good Neil Diamond flick.
Who doesn't like a Neil? But that's interesting. I love hearing what kind of music people listen to with the riding, and you don't. But the punk, I figured you were a skater.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, I went from punk to alternative, and then I slowly got. I'm a metalhead.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah, I mean, Metallica is blended in there. The old Metallica, old and Pantera back then.
Oh, Pantera, Cowboys from Hell.
Yeah, so that stuff is all blended in. I'm a smorgasbord. I listen to anything from Frank Sinatra to old Bjork. I love Bjork back in the day.
Thank you. My phone has all kinds of Sinatra. I got Justin Timberlake.
There you go.
I love everything, but my go-to, and it's funny, the calming music is the metal.
Yeah.
And for some
your
reason,
life's so crazy, that's going to be the organized crazy.
Yeah, and it just kind of calms me. It's the noise that cancels everything out. So very weird. Tony, this has been an honor and a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise.
And getting to know you more. I know we met out in California, but there was so much going on.
Yeah, there was.
And I really, really appreciate you taking the time to do this with me. This means a lot.
Thanks for inviting me. I likewise. Thanks for taking the time to bring me on your show.
This is and you bring a crowd. I mean, I don't know about the crowd, but
they're a bit of a motley crew.
Yeah, you got to tell me this. This is just you and me now. Mountain biking life. Josh is in the house. He listens to Backstreet Boys. I actually have some Backstreet Boys on my thing. So outside of the whole content creator thing, Adam and Mark, is there someone buried in their basements? They cannot be that nice.
I think Mark has the bodies buried, and Adam is the facilitator. I think that those two are up to no good, and this persona is going to get found out soon enough because they can't keep it up forever.
Yeah, no, nobody can be this. And you all, everyone I met out there was incredible. You're lucky to have such an amazing community. Marty, thank you so much for watching in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Believe that, dude? New Zealand.
He's in the future.
What a crazy little content thing that we got going on here. Anywho, you got Pip, you got your family. I know your wife's on a plane and stuff. But again, thank you so much, man. This means a lot to me. And I wish you nothing but more great success, dude.
Thank you. And likewise, and you too. All the good things.
Thanks a lot, man. Folks, I want to thank you all for coming in, jumping on here. If you're new, you know what to do. So thank you. And now if you can, folks, go get your bikes dirty.
There you go.